Hello, today's lesson is all about being a keynote or a motivational speaker. And realistically, keynote takes a lot of different forms. A motivational speaker is really what they say, a motivational speaker. But here's the key, or here's what I think. I can't motivate anybody. You can't motivate anybody. You can inspire people to find their motivation. But motivation comes from within. So you have to, in your speech, trigger an emotion or something inside of that person that takes them to a place where they're happy, where they feel excited, where they feel connected, and they want to do more. So don't think of yourself as a keynote motivation or motivational speaker. Think of yourself more as an inspirational speaker, somebody who inspires someone to find that magic that clicks on that light that makes them really want to be and do things that are fantastic. That's really what it's all about. So here's what people really want to know. I told you yesterday, there's three things that people want to know when you take the stage. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? Who are you behind the words? Who are you? What's your backstory? And your backstory is really made up of three parts. Your backstory explains your journey, your travel to excellence. Your backstory is where were you then? Where are you now? And how did you get there? Because here's in the essence of it all is I want to make my journey easier than yours was. I want you to help me make my move into greatness easier than the road that you traveled. We're in a environment of immediate gratification. Everybody wants something now. Think about it like this. TikTok is one of the fastest growing social media avenues in the world. Why? Because it's small bites of powerful information. Most motivational speeches and keynotes are no longer 90 minutes, 60 minutes, 45 minutes. At the most, they're 30 minutes. Some of them are 10 or 20 minutes. If you've ever heard of a TED Talk is between 10 and 20 minutes maximum. So in 10 to 20 minutes, you've got to deliver a powerful message that tells people where you were then, where you are now, and how you got there. So as I said again yesterday, they really only have time for 3 points. 3 points at the most. You don't have time to tell a lot of, someone said, jokes. You don't have a lot of time to hem and haw or dance around issues. You've got to get right to the point. You've got to deliver something powerful that takes people to the next level. So what is that? What difficulties have you gone through to get where you are? How did you overcome those difficulties to get from where you were then to where you are now? And what impact did those difficulties have on you? And now that you've told the story of how it's impacted you, how do you bridge the gap with the audience? One of the things that I talk to a lot of audiences about is my childhood and how I went through some of the struggles I went through in my childhood. How one day I got shot. Yes, a bullet grazed my cheek. And I ask the question when I take the stage, when I'm speaking to youth sometimes, how many people in the room have been shot? Raise your hand. Immediately, I've brought them into the conversation now because they want to know, why did I ask that question first and foremost? But then when I tell them, I was just like you, I was where you are. And if you haven't been, let me tell you how it feels to be there. That is where I bring them into my story. But that's the low part of the story because I got shot. As a motivational or inspirational speaker, you can't leave them there. You then have to tell them that was the defining moment in my life. That's when I had to make a decision to go further down or to make sure that I traveled upwards and outwards. I went back to school. I got my education. I worked hard. I did the things that were necessary. I did the things that some people wouldn't, so that I could have the things later that other people couldn't. I worked and I struggled and I made it through that difficult time. And you can too. If there's anything that happens to you that takes you on a negative spiral, you can change and move into something positive. You can move forward. You can go higher. You can do great things, but you have to be willing to do the things that other people don't. So tomorrow you can have the things that other people won't. Are you willing to take on that challenge? That's the inspiration that you give people that takes them to the next level, that elevates them. Because people want to feel celebrated, not tolerated. That's another thing that I use. The last thing that I'm going to tell you about motivational speeches is this. We work hard on developing the story, but we also work hard on memorizing quotations. We read vigorously. We study. We don't just jump up on the stage and start talking. We've got quotes memorized. We've got things memorized so that we can utilize them and put them into our stories. I talked about being shot, and one of the things that I tell people is you don't drown by falling in the water. You drown by staying there. And when I got shot, I had a decision to make. Do I stay where I am and continue to drown? Or do I start to swim? Do I start to work hard? Do I start to learn more and take on more to do better things? Those are the things that help you elevate them from the low level up to the upper level. And once you get them to the upper level and you get them involved, you start to really build on that. Make sure that they understand that this is where you're going. This is what you're doing. Get people to give each other a high five. Get people to shake each other's hands and hug each other. Those are the things that inspirational or motivational speakers do to change people's lives, to make it not good, but great. And you too have what it takes. But I'm going to tell you right now, the real essence and issue is study, work to perfect your craft. It doesn't happen overnight. You've got to put in the work. And if you're not willing to put in the work, you really want to do something different, something else, because this isn't for you. Public speaking can be great. There are different types of public speakers. The inspirational or keynote speaker is the most difficult of all. And you have got to be willing and ready to accept the challenge. That's what I have for you today. I've recorded this because I've got another appointment that I've got to run to, but I wanted to tie up the 3 days with something positive. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your effort. Otis has a great school. He's doing wonderful things. And I'll be back to see you again not too long from now. Peace and happiness, everyone. Bye-bye.